Pancho's is a family restaurant specializing in Cali-Mexican cuisine while undertaking global flavors. The ambiance is friendly, exciting, and perfect for an outing or after-work drinks and dinner. Come and join Wilmington Eats with our host, Wilma Tofu, to discover this hidden gem that may be your next meal.
Hi, my name is Chef Fonzi Chavez, and I'm the owner of Pancho's Cantina in Wilmington, Mass. My wife and I, Julie Chavez, and I own Pancho's Cantina. It's a family-owned business. 6 years ago, I was approached by the landlord to open a Mexican restaurant. At the time, I was kind of caught between moving back to California or staying here in Massachusetts. And it just kind of made sense to open up Pancho's Cantina, so here we are. My favorite dish to make is definitely the Steak Fajitas. Here at Pancho's Cantina, the most popular dish are definitely the quesadillas. The specials here at Pancho's, on Tuesdays, we do a Taco Tuesday. So we have $2 house tacos, and that's all day Tuesday from 4 to 9. And then on Wednesdays, we have Wing Wednesday, which is $5 for an order of buffalo wings, and that's also from 4 to 9.
I'm Julie Chavez. I am one of the owners of Pancho's Cantina in Wilmington, and you will find me behind the bar most nights. My favorite drink to make, well, this is a Mexican restaurant, so I will say margaritas. I love our tough shell margarita. And the reason why I like it so much is because we make our own mix in-house, and we do not put sour mix, and I don't like sour mix. So I liked it, and my tequila of choice is Milagros, so I usually recommend it. The atmosphere at Pancho's, Pancho's is a family restaurant. We have a lot of families. We have lots of kids. But we also a very fun place for, the youth and the young couples and individuals. They come. It depends on the nights. Sometimes you'll find a vibrant, happy atmosphere, and sometimes some nights you will find more like a family night. This is a family-owned restaurant, and we all about family. Our employees have been with us since we opened. 90% of our employees have been with us for almost 5 years. We treat them like family. We treat our customers, or at least they express that they feel that they get treated as family. That's why they keep coming back. We have a lot of regulars, and regulars bring their friends, their family, and it's just one big giant family. Well, I don't know if you know the story, but the original reason why my husband is here is because he met me. I live in Massachusetts, and when we met and started dating, the question is, who's moving where? Because it's 3,000 miles away, and he decided to move this way. And we love it here. We have been very well received by the community. As a matter of fact, I gotta say that originally when we opened, it was more oriented to the employees in here. One thing that benefit us that we had because of COVID, we were able to establish a more presence in the community. At one point, we were takeout only, and we were super, super busy for takeout. So we get a lot of guests that had never been to the restaurant, and during COVID, they order pickup or delivery, and they say, hey, I have never been here before, but I tried your food because I ordered takeout. For years, I ordered takeout and or delivery. And now I'm here. I love the takeout, so I imagine I'm gonna like even more dining in, and they do. So we gain a lot of new customer. I will say that now 75% of our clientele, we gained them during COVID, our new clientele. Mm-hmm.
I am a regular at Pancho's, and my husband and I come here about once a week. I've had so many things. I really think the tequila lime chicken is exceptional, and I get it with a salad, so not only is it delicious, but it's also easy to eat healthy while we're here, if that's what you want to do. So, wow, the quality of the food is excellent. The owners are so welcoming and inviting, the staff friendly. We just love everything about it. I think I've tried everything, but actually last week we had the cheeseburger for the first time, and I'm gonna get it again tonight. Yeah. I think, I started with the more traditional Mexican food, enchiladas, burritos, chimichangas, and then we kind of moved on to the entrees. I've tried the pasta, which is something that most people don't think to try at a Mexican restaurant. The pasta is exceptional, so yeah.
I'm a regular here at Pancho's. It's a real gem. It's great. We come here every week. I think it's the best restaurant around. I do, in the area at large. Like, I'm not actually even a big Mexican food person. It's not my favorite kind of cuisine, it's not. But the food here is amazing. I never wanted to eat a burger here because I figured the carnitas were so great. Tried the burger and it's the best burger I ever had. Tried the pasta. It's just as good as most of the best pasta places around. It doesn't really matter what you get on the menu, and that's what I realized. If the food's extremely good, it doesn't matter what type of food it is. Like, great food's great food. Fonzie can make the best eggs on the planet. It's just scrambled eggs and they'd come out amazing, I'm sure. So the pork carnitas are amazing. So they have different flavors. The bread pudding is spectacular. Pretty much everything they make is great. We've gotten to know Fonzie and Julie, the owners, a lot over the last couple of years, and they're spectacular. And Luis and Mariluz are super fun to hang out with. So yeah, we just enjoy coming out here and talking to them too, and having a few beers and just kind of catching up. Over the years now, it's like we're friends with them all. And we walk in, and half the time Julie's got 2 beers on the counter before we even sit down,
So we start off with an 8-ounce portion of flank steak. We marinate the meat anywhere from 24 to 36 hours ahead of time, just so to make sure that the meat itself has a flavor. We put that on the grill on each side for about 3 to 4 minutes. So we put down lettuce on the plate with guacamole, sour cream, pico de gallo, and shredded cheddar jack cheese. Then we heat up 3 flour tortillas. Then from there, we also serve our refried beans and Mexican rice. We heat up our bell peppers first. That's the most important thing. So we use a little bit of butter, and then we heat up our bell peppers. Once those begin to cook off a little bit, then we add our onions. After we add the onions, we finish cooking off the bell peppers and onions. We heat up our skillet so that our skillet's nice and hot. That helps to make sure that once the plate is served, then the steam is coming out because the skillet itself is piping hot. We place down our bell peppers and onions onto the hot skillet. Then we place the flank steak above the bell peppers and onions. And to finish it off, we add just a little bit of cold water onto the hot skillet, and that's what makes the steam rise and makes our sizzling fajitas.
What did you imagine you'd be doing as a child?
As a child, I always liked to cook. My family grew up, everyone was taught how to cook. We spent a lot of time in the kitchen. It was a family-oriented thing.
Do you think that energy kind of followed you here into making a family-run business?
You can ask our employees, you can ask our customers. We treat everybody as family, and that's kind of like what we wanted. When we go out, we want to be treated like family. We want to be treated with respect. And we feel like we make people feel like they're part of the family.
And how did you get into the food business in general? Why did you start cooking?
Well, I've been cooking my whole life, pretty much ever since I can reach the counter and help either my mom, grandmother, or babysitter. I always loved to cook. Obviously, as you can tell, I love to eat. So it's like I kind of learned how to cook as well when I was younger. And I went to culinary school in San Francisco, California, just after high school. And I knew it was something that I always wanted to pursue because it's always something that I enjoyed.
And would you just tell us a little bit about your day-to-day as a business owner here?
So there's times where I have to either, run to the supermarket, run to Restaurant Depot, making sure that we have money in the bank. So we go either deposit or pick up cash, making the daily deposits. So it's a lot of things behind, making sure our social media is up to date, making sure that we have somewhat of a presence to social media as well. So it's quite a bit of work. And then also when I'm here at the restaurant itself, aside from kind of checking the line, checking to make sure we have everything, it's helping to make sure that the food is made and prepared the way I want it to be. Yes, I do have cooks, but I still have to be on top of them to make sure they're doing it the right way. Socialize with the guests and make sure that everyone feels welcome when they're here.
Outside of this restaurant menu, what's your favorite type of food to eat?
Well, growing up in San Francisco, I used to go to a lot of Japanese, Chinese, Thai restaurants and things like that, just because of the predominant population and tons of restaurants in the area. So aside from Mexican food, I generally love if you want to call it, a combination of Thai, Japanese, and Chinese food. But if you look at the equator where Asia is located, especially those countries, and where Mexico is located, we use a lot of the same ingredients. There's a lot of the same, the cilantro, the chilies, tomatoes, onions. A lot of those things grow in Mexico just like they grow in Asia. So although the food may not be similar, it has a lot of the similar ingredients and flavors, So that's what I kind of like and I enjoyed.
That's awesome. How would you describe specifically the cuisine that you make here at Pancho's?
So I like to call it California Mexican cuisine. The reason why I call it California Mexican cuisine is because it's not, I wasn't born and raised in a particular town or city or region in Mexico where I brought all the recipes just from that region. I kind of created different recipes of ways that I ate growing up in San Francisco and California. It's a little bit different where it's not the same exact ingredients. It's very similar. And then also from different times of visiting different parts of Mexico, I visited a good portion of Mexico. And so on all my trips, going down either the south, the coast, on the Gulf side, on the Pacific side, the northern side where my family's from, it's always a little bit different in Mexico. Just like in the United States, it's a little bit different depending when you go to the East Coast, West Coast, and the South and the North. Everybody has their own styles of cooking. So I kind of put all that together and I call it California Mexican cuisine.
How would you say that this Mexican restaurant differs from other ones in the area?
Well, definitely because of that. I mean, we do have Mexican food, but we also have a variety of other things because, there's always that one person in the family, in the group, coworkers, whatever it is, that may not be a fan of Mexican food traditionally because they've gone to a Mexican restaurant and they probably didn't like the food, so they just generally think that all Mexican food's the same. So what I do is I brought pastas to the menu, I brought burgers, sandwiches, and one of the main reasons why we kind of stand above a lot of other Mexican restaurants and other restaurants in the area is for our gluten-free options. My wife, Julie, has celiac, and so a lot of our guests have come to realize that I have learned over the last 10 years how to cook gluten-free and do celiac or gluten-free options for people. Recently, I added a couple of desserts that were gluten-free as well. Gluten-free carrot cake, and believe it or not, our gluten-free Oreo cookie sundae. So as well as we already had one that was gluten-free, which is our rice pudding, Mexican-style rice pudding. But adding those extra desserts just kind of helps out because we do have a large population of gluten-free people, and they come here and they enjoy the food, and they realize that they can actually enjoy food and go out to restaurants where they can't to other restaurants, so they can come here.
How do you go about maintaining that flavor and quality despite having gluten-free and restrictions?
Definitely. Well, we pride ourselves on the freshness of the food. I'm literally telling my employees, we only prep just enough for the day, and if I have to be prepping at the end of the night for a little bit more just to get through the night, that's what we do. So we stay on top of the whole freshness of the ingredients, the quality of the food. I'm trying to buy as local as possible, and then kind of daily, almost every day I'm at the supermarket. Like I mentioned, what my day-to-day is, I'm at the supermarket, I'm at Restaurant Depot buying enough products so that's going to get us through that day, and we're not having a bunch of leftovers, things that just sitting around for days. So we maintain the freshness and quality ingredients of everything.
All right, that's perfect. I'd say, as you can see, love the food. This is spectacular.
Excellent.
Thank you for coming on Wilmington Eats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pancho's bread pudding flavors change weekly. We got the opportunity to try the chocolate Rice Krispie bread pudding with vanilla ice cream on top. This dessert has a unique texture. It's chocolatey with a soft interior and crunchy exterior. Pancho's authentic fried ice cream has a warm cinnamon flavor. The fried ice cream is crispy, creamy, nutty, and smooth. It requires a 3-day process to make. We highly recommend sharing this item. Another gluten-free option is the ever-changing option of rice pudding. We tried the Mexican horchata rice pudding, an authentic Mexican dessert staple. It's steamy, sweet, and light. Finally, we have the gluten-free Oreo cookie sundae, served in a beautiful stem glass, perfect for sharing after a delicious meal. There's sweet vanilla ice cream, creamy chocolate sauce, and crunchy Oreo cookies to add texture.